The lie that sparked it all. I thought we were unbreakable, I said, stacking dinner plates. We survived small storms. We did, Sarah said, drying a glass. And we will. You sound distant. I'm just tired. You've been tired all week. Deadlines, she said. Clients. I nodded because that was our language. Nod, swallow, keep the peace. Tell me one good thing about today. I signed a new account. That's good. It comes with travel, she added. 3 days, quick in and out. When? Friday. That soon? It's important. She kept her eyes on the towel. I'll send you my itinerary. Which city? Coastline, she said. Conference hotel. Boring. Boring is fine, I said, forcing a smile. Bring me a boring postcard, she laughed, but it didn't touch her eyes. After dinner, I made tea. Want some? I'll skip. I need to pack. Already? I like to be ready. Okay, I said, sipping alone. The cup warmed my hands, and not my doubt. I turned off the TV we weren't watching. Come sit for 5 minutes. Can't. 2. Silence. Then footsteps. She appeared at the door, hair tied, suitcase half zipped. What? Nothing, I said. Just wanted to look at you while we're still in the same week. She softened. You always say things like that. Because they're true. She sat. You trust me, right? The question hit like a stone dropped in still water. Yes. You don't sound sure. I am, I said quickly. I am. She kissed my cheek. Then sleep. I didn't sleep. I lay awake, counting her breaths, hearing a second rhythm beneath them, the pulse of something hidden. Morning came with polite smiles. We moved like dancers who forgot the steps. At work I stared at spreadsheets and saw her eyes. At lunch I called her. How's the day? I asked. Busy, she said. You, trying to be. Don't try too hard, she teased. Save some effort. For when I get back, I will, I said. The line went quiet, like we'd walked into different rooms. That evening she came home with a travel-size bottle of shampoo and a new scarf. You look nice, I said. It's just a scarf. It changes your face. In a good way. In a different way, she shrugged. Change is normal. We ate in front of the window. Streetlights blinked. Cars hissed by like soft threats. Tell me about the conference, I said. Workshops, panels, networking. Any names I'd know? Probably not, she said and reached for her phone. What are you checking? Nothing. Let me see, I asked, half joking. She smiled without teeth. Don't be silly. I'm not. I'm curious. Curiosity kills comfort, she said and tucked the phone away. Leave it. I looked down at my plate. I'll drive you to the airport. You don't need to. I want to. She didn't argue. That almost felt like an argument lost. Night folded the apartment into shadows. I lay again listening to her breathe. My mind wrote questions it refused to ask. At 1:07 a.m., her phone lit up on the nightstand. A message glowed. Client. I stared. Until the screen faded. I told myself client's message at odd hours. I told myself we were unbreakable. The phone lit again. Client. Can't wait to see you. Heat crawled up my neck. I whispered, why would a client write that? Sarah shifted and turned the screen face down. Go to sleep, she mumbled. You're awake, I said. Barely. Your client is enthusiastic. Don't start, she sighed. It's just a joke. With who? A client. What's their name? She pulled the blanket higher. Don't interrogate me, I'm asking. I said it's nothing. Nothing doesn't say, can't wait to see you. It does when people flirt to get discounts, she said. It's harmless. Is it? Yes, she snapped. Then softer. Please, I'm tired. I swallowed the rest. Okay. The room cooled around the word. I counted the seconds until her breathing settled again. Mine didn't. Morning, suitcase by the door. Coffee bitter and fast. I'll book a car, she said. I'm driving. You have meetings. I'll reschedule. Don't, she said gently. Let me go like a grown-up. It's not our first trip. It is our first quiet one. She studied me. Do you want me to stay? No, I said. I want us to be honest. We are, she said, and kissed me. Text. You when I land. The door clicked. The apartment exhaled. I stood in the hallway listening to the echo of her heels fade down the stairs. I made a choice I didn't recognize. I opened my laptop and searched flights to the same city. Seats were open. Prices hurt, but not as much as doubt. I heard my own voice as if from the future. You did what you had to do. I bought the ticket. Zara called as I zipped a small bag. You never call at 9, she said. Is someone dead? Only my patience. What happened? Sarah left for a work trip. And? A client texted her last night. I said, twice. What did it say? Can't wait to see you. Zara whistled. Messy. I'm flying after her. You're spying. I'm clarifying. You sure you want to see what you might see? She asked. No. I said, but I can't live with maybes. Take pictures if you must, she said, but take care of yourself more. I will. And call me when you land. I will. I locked the apartment and stepped into the stairwell. Every floor smelled like someone else's dinner. I felt like I was walking out of a version of myself that kept the peace until there was no peace left to keep. On the plane, the seatbelt clicked. The stranger beside me asked, business or pleasure? Neither, I said. Truth. They smiled politely and put on headphones. I closed my eyes and imagined opening a door to a room where nothing broke. We landed under a flat, grey sky. I took a taxi to the hotel Sarah had named. The lobby smelled like oranges and new carpets. I checked in under my own name. It felt reckless and clean. I texted her, how's the flight? Landed. Exhausted, she replied. Eat something, I wrote. Later. I stared at the screen until my own reflection looked like someone else. I waited an hour in my room, then went downstairs. The conference board listed rooms and panels. I didn't see her company's name. I told myself the schedule could be wrong. At the cafe, I ordered coffee and sat where I could see the revolving door. I rehearsed kindness. I rehearsed fury. I rehearsed anything except begging. After 30 minutes, a figure crossed the glass. Sarah, she wore the scarf she'd bought and a smile I hadn't seen in months. Beside her walked a man. He touched the small of her back like it was his name. My heart didn't break, it steadied. I lifted the cup to hide my face and watched. They sat by the window, laughing like people who didn't need to explain. He leaned in. She leaned closer. Their hands found the table's center and paused, not touching, close enough to be touching. I stood, took a second cup, and kept moving. I breathed, counted to 10, and promised myself I would witness everything without blinking, this time for me. In my room, Zara answered on the first ring. Well, I met client. He has a name. Let me guess, not Excel. Adil. Zara swore softly. Do you need me there? I need me here. Good. What's your plan? I wait, I said. I watch. I don't explode. Take notes, she said. You forget later, when you want to forgive. I don't want to forgive, I said. You will, she said. You're built like that. That's why you need facts. Right. Eat, she ordered. Then decide. I ate a sandwich that felt like chewing indecision. I wrote in my notes app. Saw them together, laughing, hands close. He calls himself Adil. She called him client. I added the time, the place, the color of her scarf, like I could pin the moment to the page and keep it from rewriting itself. At dusk, I went back down. The lobby glowed. The revolving door spun like a slow lie. Sarah and Adil walked out of the bar, wearing easy smiles. He touched her elbow. She didn't flinch. I stepped behind a pillar and listened. Tomorrow? He asked. She nodded. Text. Me the time. He leaned in. She moved into his air. Their cheeks brushed. It wasn't a kiss, but it was a memory auditioning for one. When he left, she stood alone, phone in hand. Her shoulders dropped. She typed quickly. My phone buzzed. Miss you, she wrote. I stared at her from 10 feet away and read the message. Twice. Me too, I typed and didn't send it. I put my phone away and walked to her. Long day, she spun. Ayan, I thought you said you were here for work. I am, I said. Work looks like coffee and waiting. She smiled shakily. You scared me. I thought I scared you this morning. What do you mean? The cafe, I said, color drained. I didn't see you. You called my name. That was a coincidence. Right, I said. Coincidences love us. She grabbed my sleeve. Please, not here. Where then? My room, she whispered. Professional. She flinched. Stop. We rode the elevator in quiet that throbbed. Inside her room, she put down her bag and faced me. Say it. I said, there's nothing to say, she replied. Then there's nothing to save. Tears gathered. It's complicated. Simple, I said. You lied. I didn't, she said weakly. I edited. Edited what? Your vows. Don't. Be cruel. I'm trying not to be, I said. That's why I bought a ticket instead of breaking a plate. She sank onto the bed. He reached out last month. A deal. Yes. Why? He wanted to apologize. People apologize over phone calls, not croissants. I needed closure. You needed a rush, I said. She covered her face. I don't know what I needed. I do, I said. You needed me to be your safe house while you visited the fire. That's not fair. It's accurate. He means nothing. He means something. He's a habit, she whispered. And I'm a home, I said. We can't live as both. She looked up. Are you leaving me? I haven't decided, I said, but I decided to see the truth. Stay, she begged. Give me time to do what? To end it. You began it, I said. You knew what you were doing. I was lonely, with me in the next room. With you everywhere except where I wanted you, she said, present and far. The words hurt because they contained a map. So you bought a ticket to the past. I made a mistake, she said. One mistake. More than one day, I said. More than one message. She wiped her eyes. I'm sorry. I believe you, I said, but I don't trust you. She bit her lip. What do you want me to do? Tell the truth, I said, to me and to yourself. I'm trying. Try harder. We sat in the noise of the silent air conditioner. I stood first. I'm moving to another hotel, I said. I won't be in this building tomorrow. Where will you be? Ahead of you, I said, or behind you. I haven't chosen. She reached for me. I stepped back. Good night, Sarah. Don't leave me, she whispered. I'm not leaving, I said. I'm learning. In the hallway, the carpet swallowed my steps. I pressed the elevator button and saw my reflection in the doors. A man who finally chose to follow the truth instead of the story he loved. I booked a cheap room across the street and sat by the window watching the conference hotel glow like a polite lie. My phone vibrated. A new message. Client, sweet dreams. I texted Sarah, your client wishes you sweet dreams. She replied, please don't do this. Do what? I wrote. Read words? Punish me. I'm not punishing you, I typed. I'm writing down the chapter titles. What does that mean? It meant the story had split. The one where I believed and the one where I looked. I chose the second and closed the curtains on the first. I set an alarm for morning. I told the room, I won't confront, I'll confirm. The room didn't answer. It didn't need to. I slept like a guard at a gate I had finally decided to watch. I told myself I wasn't here to explode. I was here to see. Taxi? The driver asked. Hotel Maris, I said, gripping my small bag. Waterfront Road, please. He nodded. The city slid by in steel and salt. I breathed like a student learning how. At the desk, I said, 1. Night for Ayan. Conference guest. Observer, I said. I left the suitcase zipped and went to the lobby cafe. The revolving door sliced the afternoon into scenes. I took a corner table where I could watch without being watched. An hour. Later, the door sighed and she walked in. Scarf loose, smile easy. Beside her, a man with black hair and a practiced grin hovered a hand at her back. A deal, I whispered into the coffee lid. They chose the window. I heard fragments. His laugh, her softer one. His elbows leaned in, her chin tipped up. There, fingers drifted toward the center of the table and stalled, a touch rehearsing itself. I opened my notes app and typed, 3:14 p.m., cafe. Laughing, shoulders almost touching. I still want to be wrong. He showed her something on his phone. She leaned close enough to fog the glass. He said, tomorrow afternoon? She said, text me. He said, somewhere quieter. She smiled, like a pocketed coin. Don't confront, I told myself. Confirm, the waiter returned. Another? Water. He set the bottle down with careful pity. I breathed in 4s and out in 6s and kept writing. Not imagining, not jealous. Present. My phone buzzed. How's your day? From Sarah. Working. I replied. My hands shook so hard I misspelled it twice. They rose together, walked toward the elevators. I followed far enough to look like coincidence. He pressed the button. Room service is quiet, he teased. She glanced at the floor numbers like they were sins. The doors shut on their faces. I typed 4:06 p.m. Privacy jokes. Nervous smile. He sure of her. She unsure of herself. Me sure of the shape. I sat again until the staff changed shifts, and the light went gold. At 7 they reappeared, not touching but threaded. He said, you're beautiful when you argue. She said, don't. He grinned like yes lived under every no. They slid into the bar. I took a stool where a mirror made my table long, enough to reach theirs. The bartender poured me water and said, you look like a man asking permission from air. I'm waiting for certainty. That's harsher, he murmured. Adil ordered wine. Sarah asked for soda. He talked with his fingers around the stem. She listened with her mouth against a straw. When he made her laugh, she hid it. When she spoke, he leaned like a pilgrim. Zara texted, alive? Alive and learning, I wrote. Eat. Watching them eat. I sent, then added, I know. I'll stop soon. Don't stop. Just don't drown. Call me later. At 8:30 he said something. She smothered with her palm. He kissed her hand before she could move. She pulled back like she'd touched an outlet and scanned the room. Her eyes brushed me and slid off. I felt a strange relief. I wasn't invisible to myself. I left. Outside smelled like rain on frying pans. My phone rang. Her name lit the screen. I answered. "Hey," she said, bright. "You free?" "Depends. How's the conference?" "Good. Panels were useful." "Name one." She laughed lightly. "You really want details?" "I want honesty." Silence. "I love you." "I want honesty," I repeated and hung up before I asked who else she loved in present tense. In my room I called Hina. "Report," she said. "I saw them twice. Laughing. Planning tomorrow. Jokes about quiet places. You okay?" "I'm steady and shaking," I said. "Both. Pictures? No. Notes. Time, place, words, the way she smiled like she'd borrowed the light." "Good," she said. "Notes are anchors when people start moving the shoreline. What do I do?" "First, say who you want to be after this. I don't want to be the man who begs for crumbs and calls it bread." "Good." "I don't want to be the man who explodes and gives her an excuse." "Better." "Who do you want to be?" "A man who believes himself, then act like him," she said. "He doesn't perform. He records. He sets terms. He sleeps. I don't know if I can." "You can," she said. "Eat something small. Shower hot. Write full sentences. Put the phone on airplane mode. Decide in daylight." I hate this. I know. Hate the situation, not yourself. Part of me wants to walk in there and say his name like a warning. Would it change the truth? No. "Then save your breath for choices," she said. "Let karma do paperwork." I wrote until my hand stopped shaking. 4:47 p.m. Bar. He kissed her palm. She scanned the room. He looked pleased. She looked lit and afraid of the light. I felt relief. The diagnosis finally named itself. This is not jealousy. This is observation. I slept in pieces and woke with a sentence in my mouth. Don't react. Decide. Morning smeared grey across the window. Messages waited. Sarah. Missed you? Breakfast? A minute later. Actually can't. Later. Miss you. The order of them made its own confession. Hina. Alive? Coffee first. I wrote downstairs. Adil stood in line 2 places ahead, cologne like a resume. He took a tray and sat where the elevator doors reflected his face. He typed fast, looked up, typed again. My phone buzzed with Sarah's later. Even though it had already arrived, my stomach felt like someone had placed a cold coin inside it. Sarah crossed the lobby without the scarf. Her hair fell loose, the way she wore it when she wanted to be seen by a younger version of herself. She saw him and swallowed a smile. They didn't touch. They walked out by the side door like a plan practiced. I followed at a calm distance. If they turned, I would look like a man walking. I was a man walking. By the waterfront, sellers argued with gulls. Adil bought 2 coffees and handed one over like a promise. I drifted to the rail and pretended to count boats. "I have a husband." She said. "You have a habit," he answered. "Security isn't love. Don't pretend to know my life." "I know your eyes," he said. "They're awake today. They're terrified. Terror is proof you're alive. Responsibility is proof I deserve it," she said. He laughed softly. "You make duty sound holy, so you don't have to feel. And you make chaos sound poetic, so you don't have to answer for it." I wanted to hate his sentences. I hated more that some of them were keys to doors I'd painted shut. I typed while I stood. 9:52 a.m. Promenade. He tries to rename hunger as honesty. She admits fear. Both know what this is and won't say it. They wandered through a lane of souvenir shops. He held up a cheap bracelet. "For luck." "I don't want luck," she said. "I want clarity." "Clarity is boring. Clarity is kind." She put the bracelet down like a loaded thing. By noon, they'd circled back to the atrium. He checked his watch. 2? "I have calls. I'll be in the bar," he said. "If you don't come, I'll know you remembered yourself." "And if I do?" "I'll know you did," he smiled. She didn't answer. The elevator swallowed. Her. He walked toward the bar with the stride of a man who thought doors were polite. Upstairs, I dialed Heiner again. "What do you want by sunset?" she asked. Self-respect I can point at. What does it look like today? A long letter to myself, not to her. And after that, "I'll walk alone for an hour. No spying. Promise?" "Promise." I wrote. I arrived with a hope I had already buried. I watched the plant push through anyway. I saw her light up then dim, like a streetlight testing bulbs. He speaks in slogans that feel like freedoms until you pay for them. She wants a rush without wreckage. I want a life. At 1:50 I left by the back door and walked nowhere in circles that felt like lines. My pocket buzzed at 2:07 and 2:18 and 2:29. I kept my promise and didn't look. At 2:40 I sat on a bench and finally checked. "Sarah, where are you? Can we talk?" "A deal. Bar. Last chance to be brave." "Brave," I told the bench, "is writing this instead of swallowing it." I replied to Sarah. "Evening. Your room. No one else there." PM, she wrote back. I took the stairs, not the elevator. In my room I reread my notes, added 3 lines, and closed the file like a door that locked from the inside. Zara pinged. Update. Meeting at 7. I'll stay calm. Eat. First, she wrote, and water. And remember, your spine is not public property. At 6:55 I knocked. Sarah opened with red-rimmed eyes and a mouth formed for defense. "We need rules," I said. "Okay, no shouting. Okay, no pretending. Okay, no rewriting. Okay, then tell me who he is to you, today." She looked at the carpet. "He's the past I still pick at. And who am I?" "You're my home," she whispered. "You're the steady thing. I can't be your floor and your fire escape. I know. Choose. I don't know how. You say the truth, and then you let it stand." She took a breath that sounded like a step. I wanted to see if there was color left. "And?" "There is," she said, "but it runs when it rains." "Paint," I said. "It peels." "I'm sorry." "I know," I said, "and I'm not ready to forgive." "What do you want me to do? Cancel tomorrow. Cancel him. If you can't, say so. I'll decide from there." She nodded, small and scared. "I'll cancel." "Then do it now." She picked up her phone. Her thumb hovered. She typed, "Can't meet anymore. Don't text me." She stared at it like it might bite her, then pressed send. The delivered checkmark looked like a stamp on wet paper. She handed me the phone. "Take it." "I don't want your phone," I said gently. "I want your honesty." She cried openly for the first time. "I don't trust myself around him." "I don't trust you around him either," I said. "Not yet." "Will you stay with me tonight?" "I'll stay with me tonight," I said. "In my room, in the truth I wrote. Tomorrow we see if there's a marriage to stand in." "Thank you," she said. "Don't thank me. Meet me." I left before the scene softened me. In the hall, I exhaled a long-held breath and said, "This is who I want to be." The sentence fit. It didn't fix me, it fit me. Back in my room I sent Heine. Didn't shout, didn't beg, set terms. She sent the text. "Tomorrow decides shape. Tonight I sleep." "Proud," she wrote. I lay on my side and spoke into the dark like it could keep a secret. "I won't chase," I whispered. "I won't perform. I will watch what people do and believe it." A siren passed and faded. I pictured the promenade, the coffee cups, the cheap bracelet, the look on her face when the message sent. I pictured my own face in the mirror I had avoided and didn't look away. "Decide in daylight," I told myself. "Decide as the man who believes himself." Sleep finally came, not kind but clean. Morning would bring answers or fog. Either way, I would meet it with open eyes. I set the phone face down like a book and pulled the sheet to my chin. "I'm not a detective," I whispered. "I'm a witness. I'm the one who decides what happens to me." "I'm not going to shout," I told the mirror. "I'm going to say what I saw." My phone buzzed. "Where are you?" Sarah texted. "At home," I replied. "Come talk." She arrived with a cautious smile and a paper bag. "I brought samosas," she said. "I brought the truth," I said. "That sounds dramatic." "It's exact." She set the bag down and looked around the living room like the furniture might take sides. "Can we eat first?" "No. You're scaring me. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to stop lying to myself." She folded her arms. "Then ask your questions." "I have one," I said. "Why him?" Her throat moved. "Who?" Adil. Color drained from her face. "Who told you that?" "I watched you," I said. "Not just once." She sank into the couch. It was nothing. Nothing that had a schedule. Nothing that poured wine. Nothing that kissed your hand. Her fingers trembled. It was just dinner. Twice, with planning for 3. We were only catching up, with a bar tab and a private joke about quiet places. She shut her eyes. "Don't do this." "Do what?" "Turn memories into weapons. I'm writing them down so we stop pretending they're harmless," I said. "Why him?" He reached out, and you reached back. I was curious. About what? If the story still lived. "And me?" I asked. "Do I live?" She looked at my hands. "You do, but not brightly enough." "That's not fair." "It's honest," I said. "You wanted comfort from me and a spark from him." She winced. "I wanted to feel like I used to." "Which year exactly?" "The one before we promised each other not to do this." Tears glazed her eyes. "I thought I could handle a meeting." "You could have," I said, "if you had told me and invited the sunlight." "Would you have agreed?" "No," I said. "But we would have told the truth." She rubbed her temples. "He texted first." "People text all the time," I said. "Phones don't make choices. People do." "We had history. We still do, I said, but you left it in a museum and then paid for night entry. It wasn't like that. She grabbed the bag and pushed it toward me. Eat, please. I'm not hungry for food. Then what do you want? Peace, her voice cracked. Tell me how. Start with everything, I said. All of it, no edits. She nodded, staring at the floor. He apologized. Said he was stupid back then. Said he missed my mind. I said I'm married. He said good marriages make room for old friends. I said maybe coffee. We met. It was light. I felt seen. I told myself I deserved a small, harmless brightness. We met again. He reached for my hand, and I pulled away and laughed and said, don't be silly. He said he respected boundaries. He didn't. I liked the attention. I hated liking it. I told myself I'd end it. I didn't. I listened to the hum in the walls. You're telling me because I asked. I'm telling you because I'm ashamed. Which part? All of it, she whispered. Are you ashamed of the lie? I asked, or ashamed that I saw it? I'm ashamed I kept you in the dark. You didn't keep me there, I said. I stayed there with you. She looked up, confused. I knew something was wrong, I said. I chose quiet. I called it maturity. It was fear. Tears fell. Don't blame yourself. I'm not, I said. I'm just not pretending I was powerless. She wiped her face. What now? I don't know yet. We can fix this, she said quickly. Therapy, rules, no contact. You promised no contact last night. I meant it. You broke it this morning, I said. He messaged, last chance to be brave. She flinched. How do you know that? You showed me your eyes, I said. They tell the truth even when your mouth edits. She pressed her palms together. Give me a chance to make this right. What does right look like to you? Us, she said. Back like before. I can't go back, I said. I can only go forward with conditions. Name them. No more secrets, I said. No private meetings. Full transparency for as long as it takes. Done. Honesty on first thought, not fifth, I said. If you want someone else's attention, you tell me instead of training a second relationship in the dark. Her voice grew small. I don't want anyone else. You wanted him yesterday. I wanted a mirror, she whispered. I wanted to know if I could still light up a room. You lit up mine, I said. I turned off the lamp so I could see you. That's a beautiful line. It's a true one. She stared at my face. Say you love me. I do, I said. I love you and I don't trust you, she swallowed. Love can rebuild trust. Sometimes, I said. Sometimes love protects distance so trust can breathe. She reached for my hand. I let her hold 3 fingers. I choose you, she said. You also chose a different kind of you, I said. One that laughs at private jokes with a man who knows how to find your wrist in a crowd. She stared at the coffee table. I hate that you saw that. I hate that I had to. Are you going to leave? I looked at the doorway. I packed a small bag. Her face crumpled. When? Before you arrived. You planned to leave me? I planned to leave the version of us that makes this possible, I said. If the only way to stop this is distance, I'll take distance. We can do distance together, she pleaded. Boundaries, I'll block him, I'll change numbers. Do it, I said. She took out her phone, scrolled and pressed. Blocked, she said, showing me the screen. Delete the thread, I said. She hesitated, then held the button and watched it disappear. Gone. Now open your email, I said. Send him a final line. Do not contact me again. I choose my marriage. CC me, she typed, cheeks burning. Done. We breathed. The room felt newly built and oddly tilted, like a house on a hill after rain. I'll book us therapy, she said. You can, I said. And I will still leave tonight. She shook her head. Why? Because I'm choosing me, I said. I need quiet that isn't waiting for a ping. You'll punish me with absence. I'm not punishing you, I said. I'm unhooking myself. She stood. Where will you go? A hotel. Then a week at Zara's place if she'll let me. Then I'll look for a short rental. Her mouth opened and closed around the idea. So, this is separation? This is breath, I said. I can't hear myself in this house right now. She reached for my arm. Please don't ask me not to, I said. I need to move to stop the spinning. She sat again, suddenly still. What do I tell my mother? The truth, if you dare, I said. Or tell her I'm on a trip. You already know how to say that. I'm not scoring points, I said. I'm trying to end the game. Will you come back? She asked. I don't know. What should I do while you're gone? Work on you, I said. Find the part that looks for fire and ask it what it's trying to burn. She looked scared. What if I can't? Then you'll call the therapist, I said, or you'll call your mother, or you'll sit in the quiet until something honest arrives. She nodded, small and slow. Can I hug you? Not yet, I said. I can't tell if I'm hugging you or my memory of you. She covered her mouth to catch a sound that wasn't a word. I went to the bedroom and pulled the small bag from the closet. Socks, 2 shirts, charger, toothbrush. I stared at the framed photo on the dresser, us grinning in a city that felt like ours. We were there, I told it. We just aren't here. Back in the living room, she stood by the window. I hate that I did this to us. I hate that I let the signs pass me, I said. We both participated. Don't share my blame, she said. I'm not, I said. I'm sharing my responsibility. She watched the street. Will you text me tonight? No. Tomorrow? I'll check in with logistics, I said, not with longing. I left you a note on the table. It's not poetry. It's the terms of the next week. Read them when you can breathe. What do they say? No calls after 9, no surprise visits, no asks for reassurance. Therapy appointment before we speak longer than 5 minutes. Daily honesty inventory on paper, not text. And a line that says, if you meet him again, we file papers without a second conversation. I lifted the bag. Say something true before I go. She swallowed. I'm terrified of losing you. That's fear, I said. Say something true about you. I like the way chaos makes me feel wanted, she said, voice flat with shame. That's the mirror, I said gently. Now clean it. She nodded and pressed her palms to the glass. I'll try. Try loudly, I said. Not in secret. I stepped to the door. Wait, she said. Say something true about you. I want peace more than I want to be right, I said. I want quiet more than I want to win. I want a life that doesn't need me to be a detective. She let out a breath that trembled. Come back to that life with me. Build it first, I said. I'll visit. Will you take the samosas? No, I said. You eat. You'll need the strength. On the landing, I called Zara. I'm leaving. Bag or boxes? Bag. My couch is ready, she said, and my rules are mean. I like mean. No rehashing after midnight, she said. No stalking on social. Hydrate, eat carbs, walk. I paused at the curb. Sarah texted. I booked therapy. Tuesday at 6. I'm sorry. I love you. I typed back, received, do the work. I'll read the receipt later. Zara pulled up 20 minutes later. Get in, she said. We're buying you sheets and a toothbrush that isn't your marriage's. Petty shopping. Self-respect has a cart, she said. At her apartment, she pointed at the couch. This is Switzerland. No war allowed. I don't plan to fight. You will, she said, with your memory, with the version of you that thinks leaving equals abandoning. You're not abandoning, you're protecting. I hear you, I said. Good, she said. Now eat, then shower, then write, then sleep. I ate. I showered. I wrote. I confronted without shouting. She admitted pieces. She hid others. She wants my comfort and his excitement. I want peace. I left with a bag and a plan. I'm scared, but my spine is quiet, and that is new. I texted Hina a single word. Moved. She sent back a heart and a hammer. Build. I lay on the couch, mind loud and then less. My phone buzzed once more. Sarah. I'm in the guest room. I blocked him. I'm scared. Please don't hate me. I typed, I don't. I just won't carry you. Then I set the phone face down and turned off the lamp. The dark didn't roar. It breathed. I breathed back. Somewhere a clock clicked. Somewhere else a habit ended. Peace, I whispered to the ceiling. Even if it's lonely. Truly. I'll take the studio, I told the landlord, standing. In a room that could fit inside our old living room, you're sure? He asked. I'm sure. Month to month. 3 months, I said. First, last deposit. He handed me the keys. It's quiet here. Quiet is what I'm buying. When he left, I stood in the center and spun slowly. A bed, a desk, a tiny stove, a window that swallowed a rectangle of sky. I dropped my bag, opened the window, and let the new air touch my face. My phone buzzed. Sarah. Can I come see you? I typed. Not today. Please. I'm outside. I closed my eyes. You didn't ask, I whispered to the empty room. Knuckles tapped the door. Ayan. I opened it halfway. Boundaries, remember. I know, she said, clutching a brown paper bag. I brought food. I can feed myself. Please, she repeated. 10 minutes. I stepped back. 9. She looked around. It's small. It's enough. Her eyes softened. Did you sleep? A little. Eat then, she said, lifting the bag. Parathas, yogurt. I didn't know what you... I'm not your patient, I cut in. I'm my own work, she flinched. I deserve that. I'm not aiming, I said quietly. Say what you came to say. I booked therapy. Good. I blocked him. I deleted everything. Good. I'm sorry. I know. I love you. I know, I said. And I'm empty enough that those words echo more than they land. She swallowed. What would make them land? Time, I said. Silence. Your actions in rooms I'm not in. I'll do it. Then do it. Somewhere else, I said gently. You chose chaos. I'm choosing calm. Her eyes filled. Am I losing you? You might be losing the version of me who stayed no matter what. She stepped closer. Let me fix it. You can work on you, I said. Fixing me is off your job description. She placed the bag on the counter and backed away like it might explode. I'll go. Thank you. She paused at the door. Will you call me? Not today, I said. I'll text when I can talk without bleeding. When she left, the studio felt like a held breath. I sat on the floor with my back against the bed frame and let the quiet tell me it was safe. The phone rang again. Survival check, Hina said. I'm vertical. Food? She brought some. You eating it? I don't know if it's medicine or poison. Eat half, she said. Let the body choose softness even while the mind chooses steel. I warmed a paratha, broke it in two and chewed. Half. Good, she said. Now schedule. Schedule. Your new spine needs routine, she said. Wake, stretch, work block, walk, therapy assignments, dinner, lights out. I'll text you at meals. If you don't reply with one word, 8. I'll arrive with soup and judgment. I don't need a nanny. You need a witness, she said. To your healing. I want front row. I exhaled. Thank you. Also, she added, buy a plant. If you can't keep a fig alive, you're not ready to make decisions about love. I laughed, surprising myself. Fig test. Noted. Proud of you, she said. Text me your apartment number. I sent it with a picture of the window. She replied with a sun emoji and a hammer. By afternoon, I had a cheap lamp, a kettle, and a folding chair. I made tea and called work. Ready to return, Mr. Khan asked. Half days, I said. Remote for 2 weeks, deliverables by Friday. No meetings after 6, he said. Rest makes better spreadsheets. You're uncharacteristically kind. You're uncharacteristically honest, he replied. Honesty makes managers brave. When we hung up, I made a list on the back of the grocery receipt. Wake 6:30, stretch. Write 3 sentences that are true. Eat, work. 9:12, walk 30 minutes. Eat, work 2 to 4. Call Hina, cook, read. Lights out, 10. I taped it to the wall. At dusk, the phone vibrated. Unknown number. I didn't answer. A text arrived. A deal isn't who you think he is. It read, he isn't who I thought he was either. Say, I typed and deleted. Typed and deleted again. Then I wrote, do your work. I'm doing mine. A long pause. Then, I will. Night came soft. I lay on the mattress and watched the ceiling turn from grey to dark like a wound closing. The city hummed. My heartbeat matched it for the first time in weeks. Morning, day 2. The kettle clicked. I wrote my 3 lines. I want peace more than victory. I will believe behavior over promises. I will feed myself before I feed anyone else. My phone rang. Test results, Hina said. T success. Stretching attempted. Plant purchased. What plant? A pothos that can't die? Cheetah, she said. Eat. Eggs and toast. Acceptable. Now walk. I will. And when the loop in your head says, text her, you answer bread, water, sunlight. I'm not a houseplant. You are, she said. All of us are. We just pretend we're volcanoes. I walked the block twice. The light tasted like clean metal. I passed a shop window and didn't flinch at my reflection. By the 3rd day, my muscles remembered what moving without dread felt like. By the 4th, my inbox wasn't a monster. By the 5th, I slept 6 hours without checking the phone. On day 6, a message from Zara popped up. Brunch tomorrow? I'll bring sarcasm. Bring butter, I replied. She arrived with both. Apartment. A check, she announced, stepping in. 1 bed, 1 chair, 1 plant, 1 human. Minimalism or heartbreak? Both. She looked at the taped schedule. You made a spine. I borrowed yours. You can keep it. I'll grow another. We ate on the floor. Any news from her? Zara asked. Quiet, I said. Therapy at 6 on Tuesday. She sent the screenshot of the appointment. Proof or plea? Both. And him? Nothing, I said. Just a number she won't delete from the back of her brain. Give it time, she said. Brains are hoarders. They only throw out junk when they have new furniture. I bought a chair. That's a start. Sunday evening, Sarah texted again. Can I share something? Short, I replied. He messaged from another number. He said he misses me. He said he made a mistake not fighting for me back then. He asked if I'm alone. I blocked and deleted. Good, I wrote. Delete yourself from that story too. I'm trying, she sent. Try in the daylight, I replied. On Monday after work, I found a note slipped under my door. No name, just a familiar slant. I'm losing weight, sleep, patience. I deserve it. I don't want your pity. I want a map. Tell me how to do this better. I wrote back on the other side and slid it under hers upstairs, where she'd rented a short-term sublet to be near therapy. I'd later learned she gave up the bigger home because it was haunted by silence. Eat, sleep. Tell the therapist the ugly truth first. Turn off the songs that let you lie with rhythm. Make a list of the rooms where you hid with him. Don't go there for a month. When you want to text me, write to your notebook. If you want a map, make one. This is yours. She responded an hour later. Thank you for not using me as your punishment. Punishment is loud. Healing is quiet, I wrote. Tuesday night, she messaged after therapy. He called me the thing he always calls me, brave. The therapist asked why bravery only shows up when I want forbidden things. I didn't have an answer. It broke me. Thank you for walking away. It forced me to look. I sat on the floor and said aloud, let karma walk without me. The room agreed by staying still. Days layered. Work, walk, write, sleep. Hina checked in like a metronome. Eat, ate. Water, drank. Mind, loud, then less. On Friday evening I heard hurried steps in the hall. A knock. I opened to find Sarah shaking, phone in her hand. He did it to me, she said, voice thin. What? He moved on, she whispered. He said I was dramatic. He said I wanted attention. He said love shouldn't need rules. He said I'm not the girl he remembered. He's seeing someone else. She's younger. He told me to take care. I leaned on the doorframe. I'm sorry, I said, and I meant it for the pain, not the man. I feel stupid. You feel human, I said. Sit. She sat on the chair. I took the floor. I wanted him to fight for me, she admitted. I thought if he fought, it would mean I mattered. You matter even when no one fights, I said. Especially then. She wiped her face. I keep waiting for a scene that proves something. He just said goodbye like I was a pair of shoes that didn't fit. That's not about you. It feels like it is. I know, I said. But feelings aren't verdicts. She looked around the room like it could answer. I envy your quiet. Quiet is earned, I said. I traded my hunger for it. She nodded, breath ragged. I regret everything. Regret is a map if you read it, I said. Not a prison. She stared at the pothos on the sill. You bought a plant. It's alive. Teach me how to keep things alive that aren't built on drama. Water, light, consistency, I said. And no fires in the same room. She half laughed, then cried again. I don't deserve your kindness. Kindness isn't payment, I said. It's furniture. It makes rooms livable. Her hands shook. Ayun, do you think we can try again? I looked at our shoes. Not today. Tomorrow. Not because of him, I said. Not because you hurt. Not because you're scared. If we ever try, it will be because we built something new, not because we fear emptiness. I'll do anything. Do anything for you, I said. Don't audition for me, she closed her eyes. Tell me what you're doing that helps. Eating 3 times, I said. Walking, writing, calling people who tell me the truth, touching sunlight with my face, breathing through guilt without using it as a leash. Okay, she whispered. I'll copy. Don't copy, I said. Compose. She stood slowly. Thank you for letting me fall apart here. This room doesn't belong to your disaster, I said gently. But it can witness your repair. She nodded. I'll go. At the door she turned. If I ask you again in a month, and I'm different, will you listen? I'll listen, I said. Listening isn't a contract. After she left, I called Hina. Karma clocked in, I said. What did you do? Nothing. I made tea. Good, she said. Keep making tea. Saturday morning I met Hina at the park. She handed me a thermos. Graduation gift. For what? For surviving your own heart. We walked beneath trees that looked like open umbrellas. Do you still love her? She asked. Yes, I said, but it doesn't feel like a leash anymore. I like that sentence. Me too, I said. It feels like mine. We sat on a bench. Read me today's 3 sentences, she said. I opened my notebook. 1, I'm not a backup plan, even to myself. 2, I can be kind without becoming a doormat. 3, I forgive, but I don't rebuild on rotten wood. Carve those above your door, she said. I taped them to my wall. She nudged me. When she asked to try again, what did you feel? A pull, a memory, a field of panic, I said, and then a stillness I didn't recognize. Name the stillness. Self-respect. We walked another lap. What do you do with the empty parts? She asked. I don't rush to fill them, I said. I let air in. It's surprisingly sweet. Monday, week 2. Work called. I delivered. Mr. Khan wrote, your spreadsheets are cleaner. Did heartbreak teach you formatting? It taught me margins, I replied. He sent a laughing emoji and a raise. I didn't expect a Tuesday night, Sarah texted. Therapy cracked me open. My therapist asked me to write a letter to the part of me that wants chaos. I called it performer. I told her she doesn't get to choose my partners anymore. Good, I wrote. Wednesday, she left a small envelope at my door. Inside, keys to our old place. Your name is on this, the note said. I can't hold it without shaking. Take them until I can. I placed the keys in a drawer without a ceremony. Objects do not get to be altars. Thursday, Zara visited with paint samples. Your walls need a color, she declared. White is for ghosts. We painted one wall a gentle blue while music murmured. I told her about the raise. She told me about a new neighbor who sang loudly at 2 a.m. We laughed until we had to sit down. Look at you, she said, paint on her cheek. Almost happy. I'm something like that, I said. I'm unafraid of peaceful. Friday, Sarah texted. Dinner just to talk? Not yet, I replied. When I ask myself and the answer is yes. How will you know? I'll feel safe, I wrote. Not generous, safe. Saturday at dawn, she stood across the street, not coming up. I watched from the window as she cried without flailing, then left. The restraint felt like progress and pulled at something soft in me. I didn't move. I named the pull and let it pass. Week 3. I bought a second chair. I bought a rug that made the floor less like a confession. I cooked something that tasted like home and didn't have her fingerprints on it. I slept through thunderstorms and didn't dream of revolving doors. On a quiet evening she called. I answered. Can we meet? She asked. Public place, I said. Tea shop, daylight, 1 hour. Tomorrow? Tomorrow. I arrived first and chose a table by the window. She came in with a simple sweater and eyes that didn't dart. Rules? I asked. No pleading, she said. No time travel. No edits. Good. We held our cups like handles to a heavy box. I did the exercises, she began. I wrote to performer. I wrote to good girl. I wrote to secret. I asked them why they run my legs. I told them they won't anymore. That's work, I said. It is, she answered. I wanted to come here and say I'm better and ask you to try again. But that still sounds like performing. So I'll just say this. I hurt you because I was hungry for a mirror. I'm learning to be my own. I'm glad, she looked down. Do you forgive me? Yes. Her breath caught. Then I raised a hand, gentle. I forgive you, but forgiveness isn't a key to my door anymore. She sat very still. That's fair. Thank you for not calling it cruel. I know cruel, she said. This isn't it. We sipped. A child at the counter asked for extra sugar. The barista laughed. Life continued without holding its breath for us. I'm moving on, I said. Not to punish you, to honor me. I want that for you, she said, even if it doesn't include me. It might include you someday in the soft way friends include each other, I said. But I won't promise what I don't know, she nodded. I won't wait. I'll live. Good. We talked about small things, work, weather, the pothos that grew 2 new leaves. When the hour ended, we stood. I'm proud of you. I said, I'm trying to be proud of me, she replied. We walked out into a sky that was learning color. That night, I cleaned the studio, folded clothes, watered the plant, and set my shoes by the door. I texted Hina. I said the line. I meant it. It didn't taste like metal. It tasted like air. She replied with a single word, dawn. Before sleep, I wrote my 3 lines. Forgiveness freed me from carrying her. Boundaries freed me from carrying myself like a secret. I am walking toward a life that doesn't ask me to be, less to be loved. I set an alarm for just before sunrise. When it went off, I put on a jacket and climbed the stairs to the roof. The city stretched like a giant waking up slow. I stood at the edge with the wind in my face and the quiet inside. Me louder than any apology. Light crawled up the buildings, testing windows, then blooming without asking permission. My phone buzzed. Sarah, thank you for today. I'm going for a run. I'll be okay. I wrote back. Be honest. Be kind. Keep going. I put the phone away and let the morning lay its hand on my shoulders. I'm not afraid, I told the new day. I took the first step along the gravel path that ringed the roof. then another. The sun rose like a promise I could finally believe, because it belonged to no one and still touched everything. I walked into it, finally free, finally whole.